My mom was, basically, to give you a quick brief overview, she was, God, separated from her family at a really young age, got pregnant at 14, had my oldest brother at 15, got married, raised six amazing children with my father, Fred Anderson, and, went back to school, worked hard, got her education, and actually basically became the director of the YWCA, had one of the YWCAs named after her. She really helped a lot of teens in the community in the area. Basically, our family won Family of the Year, which is
Right.
an amazing picture that includes myself, my siblings, and Prince, who at the time my mother actually adopted. And so he lived with us for several years during that period of time. And, basically we were able to, she allowed us to do our music. And allowing us to do our music allowed a lot of other musicians in the neighborhood and the surrounding community a place to come and hang out and just, feel comfortable, playing music.
So your house was the home where the neighborhood kids would gravitate towards, and their parents had to say, call them for dinner, right?
Absolutely.
Something like that.
No, exactly like that. It was the hub. Yeah.
Right. Now, we've had multiple friends of yours from Minneapolis, and I was thinking back prior to you coming on the air, Pepe, Willie, a while back, I put up an interview. He made mention about you and Prince when you worked. There was something so advanced, you and Prince working with him in the studio. He was just amazed. Remember those days you worked on a few things, right?
Yeah, we worked on a lot. I mean, Pepe was introduced to us. We did a gig at ski chalet.
Oh, okay.
I think he was having some sort of a wedding or reception party or something there. I don't know, but we were introduced to him by Morris's mother, who was managing us at the time, and basically, we met him, and he, she said he was a record producer from New York, and so he kind of, showed us a few things here and there about making music. And making actually production. He showed us how to put in tom fills and places and things like that. It was actually really kind of cool, though, I have to say, because we were just, because we were so young, we were just really excited to learn new stuff. And
how patient were you guys at that age to correct things and work like that, or you guys just press play and record it and that was it?
We were not patient at all. We had no real interest in indulging in that at first, until he actually showed that he really had some real skills to offer. Because we at that point we pretty much, we used to play 4-hour sets, so we played all the music that was out at the time, so we knew music production because we played it literally on a regular basis. So it was a little bit interesting, but but he definitely came with some things that we just did not, anticipate and really didn't think of, and it definitely brought some color to what we were trying to do at the time.
The band Fantasy, when I changed the direction of the group and we started playing clubs, mainstream clubs. We fought hard to get in. We started learning top 40 music. That's why they gave us a shot, but we were in 7th Street entry, some of your smaller backdoor type of rooms in the clubs. But it exposed us. Prince would come and see us every week. And I knew Andre was gone, but Andre was talking to me even about being in his band as bass player. So it was really interesting when all of a sudden Prince called me up at the community center that we rehearsed at in the middle of the night, and he was like, I want you to come audition. So that's how all that took off. And that's how he found me or scouted me. So.
What was that audition like? Because we've heard from Dez and I think Gail Chapman and Fink, and what was your audition like with him?
It wasn't even an audition. It was so funny because Bobby picks me up and brings me there. We're in the basement of his house where his studio was, and he had the drums and bass and an guitar amp set up. He gives me the bass, and he doesn't talk. I mean, I don't even know the dude. And he just starts he says, do you know Head? And I was like, of course, so boom, we jam on that for literally 15 seconds. I'm
Wow.
like, and then we jam on, he's like, do you know Dirty Mind? I was like, of course, I know all your stuff,
Right.
and then, but literally about 3 minutes went by and he's like, okay, that's enough. And I was like, what? I was like, oh, did I get fired that quick? That quickly?
Yeah.
But that was my audition. Literally, I would say 5, I might be exaggerating, maybe 10 minutes, but no
Mhm.
longer. And he says, Bobby, you can leave. I'll take him home. That was my audition. And then when we were riding, he was bringing me to my car, which was parked in Edina,
Okay.
because Bobby picked me up. It was so interesting because I really got to learn who he was. It wasn't this character that I was kind of afraid of.
Right.
Not anymore. So very interesting audition,
Yeah.
if you call it one.
Yes. So he was big on popping in the cassette in there at the time and playing his music and testing it out in the
Absolutely.
car. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had a big stereo in my car because I loved the 808s, the subwoofers and all that. But his was on a whole nother level. When I got in his car, the whole thing was shaking. It was rumbling. And he was letting me hear all the new music. And I got to hear Controversy. I got to hear Let's Work, all this other stuff he was working on. Heck, Erotic City, all that stuff before its time.
Right.
And he let me hear a lot of stuff, and I was pretty blown away because it was so different. I was even curious if it was even going to work. It was so
Mm.
different.
And growing up, we've read, and of course, we should mention that Sonny T was an integral member of Prince and the New Power generation. Going back to you and Prince working together, he said in interviews you're his biggest influence on the guitar, right?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think, by working with him and listening to his records, what do you think he took from you? Can you hear anything in there?
Yeah, just a lot of discipline and harmonic modes and understanding chord changes.
Okay. And when you guys were working in the band, the New Power Generation, when did that come about? I know there were a few false starts you might have joined up, but when did it finally happen?
The summer of '91, that was the first gig we played, Rock in Rio.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was hot, but it was pretty cool.
You did about, what, two nights, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, Diamonds and Pearls. And,
right, Diamonds and Pearls on.
And working
until
on
the Gold Experience.
Yeah, right, Until the Gold Experience. Do you have any favorite stuff that you worked on during that time as far as songs?
Oh, man, I haven't thought about that stuff in a while. Let me see. I really like the Diamonds and Pearls record. That's one of my favorite records.
Right.
I think just because he was so focused at the time that he did that record,
Mm-hmm. And you guys went just all over the world with that band, and
yeah, it was great, and the group was just slamming too,
Yeah. How about tour-wise? Did you have any favorite tour that stood out?
I think the later tours, because we would go out and just play stuff that wasn't out.
Right.
And that was pretty brave of him to try to do that, even though, some people thought we were nuts.
Right.
But, speaking of some of the media, but
yeah,
basically, you got to take chances. If because being as creative as he is, Purple Rain is a great song, but he don't want to just play that for the rest of his life.
Hey, I
He's
think
constantly trying to do new things.
I think you read my mind, because I feel the same way as you. Back during the Gold Experience days, when you guys were going out and just jamming with the MPG Exodus material and stuff like that nobody heard, but it's taking a chance, and I think it's more exciting to see a show like that.
Yeah, it's just like now, even in this day and age, I love seeing all the young talent coming up.
Right.
But with the digital technology that's emerging, is you can't really take a chance.
Right.
Because everything is so pre-recorded, it doesn't breathe now.
Yeah.
So if you don't record pre-recorded breathing, it's still not breathing because it's stuck in that same thing. The song has the same identity. It felt the same way it did last night as it'll feel the next night, and so forth.
It's been going really nicely. It's just been getting better every show. The people seem to dig it, and it's always a blessed opportunity, and it's always you want to be a little bit concerned at first when you change something, when he changes something, because he has a lot of fans, and it's just like anything else. It's hard to please everybody. Actually, it's impossible to please everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems that whether he does a hits tour or not, there's always some people who sometimes feel like they're missing something. So we made a little bit of a change. He wanted to just play more music and just be a musician for a while and have some fun.
Now,
we're loving it. The fans seem to also. We thank them for that, definitely.
Is that a conscious decision among the group of musicians about saying, hey, come on, let's go with the new material? Or is it just Prince saying this is what we're going to do? How do you guys work that out?
Well, I think it is a conscious decision with everybody. Everybody has to feel well about doing something, just like he wants to make sure that he has the right musicians around him.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to tempt people with different ideas of what you should do. But originally, most definitely, it was inspired from that record.
Okay.
Which deserves to be heard live. It's the kind of record where you can take it a little bit more. Live is always the arena where you want to do that. But a record such as that, some of the stuff really plays out very, very well live.
Now, some of the change, we were talking yesterday that the in-ear monitors that you guys are using on stage, how tough is it to get adjusted to that, and any drawbacks or positive things with that? I'm sure there are a lot.
It's positive. I think the most positive thing that it's good for is when you are singing, if you're someone who generally sings in tune and wants to be able to hear themselves, it's a great thing for that, because this thing is fitted into your ear canal by molds, so it's very, very tight, and it's like it all connects all your bones together. It's like you're singing with a finger in your ear. You're always in tune to what you're doing. So for that, it's great. A little interaction with the audience sometimes gets a little bit funny because we can't hear what they're saying generally because we have a lot of blockage, and we can really only hear what's going into the mics. Even sometimes when we do these the club member sound checks, which
right,
are a lot of fun. I think that a lot of fans sometimes get a misconception because they think that we can't hear or we're in the back or whatever, and it's not that we hear what they're saying and we're not answering. We can't hear what they're saying. Even sometimes when Prince is on the stage without his in-ears, if he's speaking just in his voice to the club members, we as the band in the back can't hear what he's saying because we have the in-ears again, and we're communicating with closed mics that we have on the stage to each other. So sometimes you want the crowd to know that, because I think there's been a couple of people who maybe got the wrong perception and don't really realize that we actually can't hear unless we physically take these things out of our ears, what they're saying.
A lot of folks were trying to figure out, like when Dance to the Music came out, they was trying to figure out, what is that, after I say I'm going to add some bottom, that fuzz comes in on the bass, and they were trying to figure out, what is that? It's too low for a guitar, but bass don't use fuzz, so what is it?
Right.
And that's, again, why I say it's good that I would use things like that, because I wasn't afraid to experiment. Because back in the day, they didn't make any special effects for bass that I was aware of, and today even, there are some, but nothing compared to what guitar players have, and so again, it was to my advantage.
All right. Larry Graham is my special guest here on The Upper Room with Joe Kelley, and we are discussing in depth the new double CD anthology, the Larry Graham and Graham Central Station anthology. It's entitled The Jam. It's in your record stores right now on Rhino Records, and we're going to go right into one of my favorite cuts, and this is from Graham Central Station's Release Yourself, It's All Right. And Larry had the dance floors packed with this one, and you still do it often live, so it's a great song. And anything in the studio that comes to mind right there with It's All Right?
With It's All Right?
Yeah.
Oh, one thing that comes to mind again with the pedal that I used on the bass, that bow, everybody was wondering, what in the world is that? Because it was too low for a guitar again. It's like, okay. And those pedals at the time were, very new for guitar. But I would try everything. And so that became like the foundation sound for the record, and became the trademark, sound for that record.